Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mike Bass back again with another forecast update for you for this October the 22nd, 2023. I'm hoping everybody's having a great Sunday out there so far. Hope everybody has a great Sunday evening. Hope everybody continues to stay safe and well and also enjoy the weather because it's the only weather you got. Okay, in today's video, we're going to be talking about your forecast for Monday and Tuesday. And also, we're going to be taking a look at the information on Hurricane Tammy. Also, we're going to take a look at the Watches Warning Advisory map. Also, we're going to take a look at the weather radar across the nation. And also, we're going to take a look at the National Hurricane Center and still talk about that little disturbance down in the southwestern Caribbean Sea. Looks to become Tropical Depression 21 and maybe Tropical Storm Vince if it gets a name. So we'll talk about that at the end of this video. But if you're a new viewer and you have not subscribed to my channel, go ahead and smash that subscribe button today and you're in. You get my forecast twice per day, and unless something comes up that I can't do the forecast, other than that, you get my forecast twice per day. Also, like these videos, share these videos on social media, so that way more people get a chance to see it. And let's go ahead and get the show on the road here, folks, and we'll go ahead and start talking about a little bit about the weather here. All right. As you can see here, we got some quiet conditions over southeast Canada, back down into Maine, also toward New Brunswick, also in Newfoundland as well, all the way down the Atlantic coast, all the way down to Florida, to the Florida Keys, as far west of Louisiana, Arkansas, portion of Missouri, Illinois, Indiana, and Ohio, and also portion of Michigan as well. Also a portion of Kansas, also a portion of Mexico, Colorado, portion of Wyoming, over to portion of the Dakotas, also Minnesota. Also some dry conditions expected over towards the Utah, portion of Arizona, portion of California, Oregon, and Washington State as well, and Idaho. Also in the Gulf of California as well. Also even over a portion of northern and central Mexico as well. Alright, shower and thunderstorm activity up here around the Great Lakes region, around Michigan and Wisconsin, back in the portion of Iowa, Missouri, and also Indiana. Same down in the portion of Kansas, Oklahoma, back into Texas, northern Mexico, New Mexico, and Arizona. Got some shower activity over southwestern California, same up here in portion of Nevada, also in Idaho, also over toward the portions of Montana, North Dakota, also over toward northern Montana, and portions of Lake Superior as well. Also, we have some mixed precipitation falling in the purple here. This is extended from portions of North Dakota through southern Canada, back over towards portions of southwest Canada, over around Vancouver, back into Washington State, around the Seattle area, down toward Portland, also just a little bit south of there as well, and also a little bit of shower activity along coastal areas of Washington State with a little well activity is for your Monday. All right, let's move on to your Tuesday forecast now. As you can see here, we got quiet conditions over the pretty much southeast Canada, all the way down toward Newfoundland, New Brunswick, all the way down the Atlantic coast, all the way down toward the Florida Keys, Cuba, Bahamas, all the way back to southeast Texas, northern and central Mexico as well. As far north as Indiana, and also portion of Illinois, portion of Michigan as well. Alright, dry conditions expected over portion of southern Canada, portion of southwestern Canada, also through Montana, South Dakota, all the way through Colorado, Utah, Nevada, California, Arizona, and also a portion of Gulf of California as well. Alright, we got a big real estate area, showers and storms as a cold front drops into the area, then across southeast, southern Canada over to portion of the Great Lakes region, also down into Michigan, back to Minnesota, all the way down as far south as Nebraska, Kansas, New Mexico, Arizona, northern Mexico, Texas as well, way up into Missouri. In the red slashed area were Texas, and also in the Kansas and Oklahoma, some heavy rain and flash flooding possible in that region. We have some mixed precipitation over here in portion of Colorado. Same again over here in portion of Idaho, Utah, Wyoming, back into the Dakotas, southern Canada that is. Also in the portions of Idaho and also Washington, Oregon states, up here around Vancouver, Canada, and also down to Washington, Seattle, Washington region, and also Portland, Oregon. Got some shower activity in the green there across Washington, Oregon, Northern California, coastal region there of California. The Pacific Ocean there as well. We have some heavy snow, but we have snow, might as well say, snow falling across Montana and also southern Canada as well, and also a little bit maybe in the northwest or North Dakota, and a little bit maybe toward Idaho as well. But this area here is snow will be falling. I showed that on the map the other day, the forecast model, and this will continue to drop further to the south as we continue to go through this work week. If you'd like to check that video out, I think it was like 2 or 3 videos back. I showed a computer model run, and it showed some mixed precipitation and snow moving in to the middle portion of the country. As far south as Oklahoma, Kansas, all the way over towards Missouri, Illinois, Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, Michigan. We're going to get some snow as well. I think some portion of the Northeast might even get some as well. You're welcome to check that video out as well. Alright, all of this activity here was for your Tuesday. Alright, let's move on to the Hurricane Tammy. Tammy is well north of the islands here. Here's the center of rotation. This is some feeder bands pulling in off the system. Tammy's getting a little better organized this evening as it continues to push on off to the north. Alright, we're going to take a look at some information now. We're going to take a look at the forecast cone, then we're going to take a look at the Spaghetti-O models. Okay, let's take a look at the forecast cone now from the National Hurricane Center. Okay. Alright, hopefully it'll be coming up here. Alright, as you can see here, here's the tropical storm. We have a hurricane conditions in the darker orange right behind the X there. If you're tracking this system at home, it's located at latitude 19.9 north, longitude 63.4 west. Maximum sustained winds have increased to 85 miles an hour with higher gusts, and moving us to the northwest at 9 miles an hour. Hurricane classification is 74 to 110 miles per hour. Alright, remains a hurricane all the way through 2 p.m. Wednesday. By late Thursday, will become a post-tropical storm as it continues to move to the toward Bermuda. Alright, I've been talking about Bermuda for the past several videos. Even when it was way over here, I said Bermuda probably going to get affected by it. Even in Leeward Island, also Bermuda will get affected by it. And I look like y'all going to get it as well. This system, the models has been shifting back to the west. So this storm will move back to the west and eventually back to the southwest. There's nothing to stop it affecting the East Coast now because there's no cold fronts coming in. So if this thing decides we want to turn back to the west, it can, because there is no cold front to stop it this time, because for the next 7 days it's supposed to be quiet conditions over the East Coast. So this system has a chance to sneak back toward the Carolinas, but most of the models, what I've been looking at, has it going like this, and then kind of turning back toward the Bahamas, and then moving back down into the Gulf of, maybe across Cuba, back into this area here, and then back into the Gulf, back into Mexico, around Belize area, or the Yucatan Peninsula. That's what the GFS was showing. But like I said, anybody from the East Coast, maybe from up here around New Hampshire, Delaware, all the way down to the East Coast of Florida, even the West Coast, even the areas in Gulf of Mexico need to watch out, because if things, and even the Bahamas, if the thing happened to sneak back to the southwest and happen to turn back to the west, it may affect the Florida Keys and then turn and come up into anywhere over here in the Florida, Big Bend area of Florida. I would not be surprised that could happen, or it could affect the East Coast of the United States. But I will continue to monitor this as it gets closer. All right. Here's the spaghetti going off to the west-northwest, then eventually off to the northeast, and then there goes that turn back to the west. Some wants to turn it back to the west and then a sharp northeast turn, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's going to be more of a westward turn. Here in Bermuda, you will get affected by this storm as well. All right. take a look at the storm. Moves off to the west northwest, then eventually off to the northeast, and then back to the west, and then got to turn back to the north, back to the east. A lot of models. See, there's a lot of models even taking it back toward the Carolinas. You can see on this here, it takes a good many of them start to go that way. Some goes this way and then off to the northeast. So we're going to have to continue to monitor this thing. If this thing decides to move back to the west toward the east coast, we'll have to monitor this situation very closely. All right, let's take a look at the GEPS ensembles. As you can see, here's the center of the storm, moves it to the west-northwest, then it kind of bends it around and just kind of meanders here. See, there's some of the models. One takes it down in the Caribbean, some takes it to the coast of Florida, one takes it almost about where Hurricane Hugo made landfall in South Carolina down here around Charleston, and then but it moved on up, but doesn't here move in and over South Carolina, moves out. The other one just moves it up and then kind of just meanders. That's why we're going to have to monitor this system very closely because, like I said, the way things are going right now, it looks like it may be going to take a turn to the west, and there's nothing to stop it this time because there is no cold front to move in that direction for a while. So, all right, here's the current position. I mean, not the current position. It's about 70 knot winds, equal to 75 miles per hour. I mean, 85 miles per hour wind gust. Keeps it a hurricane, pretty much a hurricane through its entire life cycle. Then it finally drops off to about 84 to 168 hours out. One shoots it all the way up to a category 3. One couple of them, maybe about 3 or 4 models, even takes it to a category 2. This system here is, like I say, pretty much remains pretty much a hurricane through most of its life cycle, and then kind of drops off toward days 3 and 4. So, all right, but we'll continue to monitor this situation very closely because if this thing turns back to the west and just keep going west, it's going to make landfall over here in the Carolinas, so or Georgia, somewhere in that vicinity, if it continues to go back to the west. But like I said, I'll be here to monitor the situation. I'll be having another update tomorrow on this, and let's see what happens with Hurricane Tammy. All right, let's move on to the Watches Warning map. This is back to our local forecast area. Alright, you can see here we still got a small craft advisories up here from Maine all the way down to the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Same over here in portions of California all the way up to Washington State. We have some wind advisories for you guys over in Southwest California. Winter storm watches have been posted for you guys in Oregon and Montana region. Also winter weather advisory there as well. Got a few pockets of wind advisory there as well in portions of Oregon and Washington State. Southern areas of Louisiana. Also, we have some frost advisories for portions of Virginia down into western North Carolina, all the way back over to Kentucky, Tennessee, northeast Tennessee, all the way back up to Indiana, portion of Ohio, and also Pennsylvania. In the purple area here, this is freeze warnings in effect for you guys in West Virginia, also in Ohio, portion of Pennsylvania there as well. Alright, and down here in the Hawaiian Chain Island looks A-okay. We still got those tropical storm warnings in effect for the coast area of Mexico for tropical, and we have winter storm warnings posted for portions of Alaska. We had them small craft advisory, gale warning in effect coastal areas of Alaska. The northern portion of Alaska, that is some heavy freezing spray warning in effect for you guys there. And alright, you can see we got some scattered activity up here in portions of Canada, back through Montana, Idaho, also portions of Oregon, Northern California, also into Nevada. We got some more scattered activity over here, portions of Minnesota, through the Dakotas, also in portions of Iowa, and also in the portions of Nebraska as well. Let's continue to move southbound here. We got a little bit here in portions of Kansas. We got some more over here around Dallas, stretching all the way back to West Texas. Also in the northern Mexico, got some down in the Gulf of Mexico as well. Alright, we've got a little bit of activity over in portions of northern Louisiana and Arkansas as well. Alright, let's move back. Here's a little radar glimpse. You can see a little bit of Tammy from that radar glimpse down in San Juan, Puerto Rico, portions of Maine, also back into portions of Vermont, New Hampshire, up toward Montreal, also toward New York State, just east of Buffalo, and also in the portion of northeastern areas of Pennsylvania region as well. All right, and the National Hurricane Center. All right, you can see here is Hurricane Tammy. We just discussed that already. This is that disturbance here. It looks to become Tropical Storm Vince, maybe before by tomorrow or Tuesday. But right now, it has the 60% chance over the next 48 hours, this next 7 days. But anyway, shower and thunderstorms have changed little in organization since this morning, associated with a low pressure system located over the southwestern Caribbean Sea. However, environmental conditions are favorable for development, and a tropical depression could form before the system moves inland over Nicaragua by early Tuesday. Regardless of the development, this system could produce heavy rains over portions of Central America during the next couple of days. And like I said, 60 is 60, so that's that. But anyway, hope everybody enjoyed this video. Hope everybody continue to stay safe and well. Also enjoy the weather, because it's the only weather you got. Like these videos, share these videos, consider subscribing if you have not. And we'll catch you back in the next video. So have a wonderful, wonderful Sunday evening, folks. Take care.